His gaze was locked onto me, a fire igniting within him the moment he laid eyes on me in that daring mini skirt. I had always clung to the illusion of control over my life, over the suffocating loneliness, the piercing heartache, and even my deepest desires. But that fateful day shattered my delusions, forcing me to confront the harrowing truth. Everything I thought I held was slipping away, lost to the chaos that surrounded me. The darkest and most forbidden chapters of my life unfolded with this tale. A surge of adrenaline courses through me, and my breath hitches as the haunting memories flood back. This transcends the mere act of confession. It's a harrowing tale of how the suffocating grip of loneliness, the burning ache of desire, and the tumult of conflicting emotions can drive a woman to the brink of losing her very essence. At 55 years old, I often find myself at the center of disbelief, as people gasp in astonishment upon discovering my true age. It has been a decade since Richard shattered my world with his betrayal, leaving me to navigate the tumultuous waters of solitude. Though I have carved out a life for myself, the relentless ache of loneliness gnaws at my soul, a haunting reminder of the love that once was and the emptiness that now consumes me. Despite the fierce facade I project under the cover of darkness, the haunting emptiness grips me with relentless force each morning. I was preparing for an intense outing with my friend Rachel, a fellow divorcee, as we braced ourselves for the weight of our shared experiences over coffee. I stood before the mirror, clad in a delicate shirt and a daring miniskirt, a small, defiant grin creeping across my face as I took in my reflection. I still looked striking, I whispered to myself, a haunting reminder echoing in the depths of my mind. Rachel and I met at the cafe, our conversations swirling around the haunting echoes of our past, the suffocating silence that filled our homes, and the bitter taste of relationship disappointments. As I spoke, my gaze drifted outside, and there he was, my nephew Nathan, just 25, usually a beacon of joy and respect. But today, an unsettling presence loomed beside him, shattering the fragile peace of the moment. Beside him loomed a tall, broad-shouldered man, his presence commanding and impossible to ignore. In the aftermath, I discovered that his name was Logan. At 27, his magnetic presence drew attention with an intensity that was impossible to ignore. His presence was electric, leaving an indelible mark on everyone around him. My heart raced violently as his piercing gaze ensnared mine. A tempest raged within me, yet I found myself paralyzed, unable to confront its ferocity. After a fleeting greeting, Nathan turned and strode away, but my heart raced as I caught Logan's piercing gaze. Filled with unspoken tension, an intensity charged his looks, hinting at unspoken depths. There was so much more lurking beneath the surface. As I arrived home, a surge of anticipation coursed through me when I spotted a massive box waiting ominously at my door. Inside lay the TV and music system I had eagerly ordered. Yet a chilling realization struck me: I was utterly alone, unable to conquer the daunting task of setting it up by myself. As I remembered Nathan's time-sensitive request for me to call him, I dialed his number, my heart racing. His voice, filled with tension, revealed that Logan would be by his side when he answered. A strange, electrifying thrill coursed through me. My heart raced violently as the doorbell echoed through the silence, a relentless reminder of my desperate longing to see Logan once more. As Nathan and Logan struggled to set up the TV, I watched from a distance, captivated by the electric energy radiating from Nathan. Nathan had strolled in with an air of nonchalance, but when Logan stepped through the door, his gaze locked onto mine, and an electrifying tension surged between us, leaving me breathless. Little did I realize how this day would unfold, but now I understand it all started with the intensity of those piercing eyes. Logan was precise and focused, yet each time our eyes locked, an electric tension crackled between us, igniting an unspoken intensity that was impossible to ignore. Clad in my blouse and miniskirt, I felt the weight of Logan's gaze piercing through me. A rush of awareness surged within, igniting a thrill I struggled to suppress, each heartbeat echoing the tension in the air. In a fleeting moment, Logan thrust a cable into my grasp, his fingers brushing against mine, igniting a spark that sent a jolt through the air between us. We both instinctively recoiled. Yet in that fleeting instant, it felt as though a fierce spark erupted between us. I hold an immense appreciation for both of them. Facing challenges like this is an overwhelming burden when solitude envelops you. Logan's apology came wrapped in a faint smile, yet his voice, smooth and calming, stirred something deep within me as the tension of the moment escalated. I turned to Nathan, my voice steady yet charged with anticipation, and declared, "Once everything is set up, I'm inviting you both to the first movie night." The air crackled with unspoken tension, as if the night held secrets waiting to be unveiled. "You both must come. There's no turning back now." Logan's smile was warm, yet there was an underlying urgency in his voice as he said, "Don't hesitate to call us for things like this." The weight of his words hung in the air, a silent promise of support in times of need. His tone was honest, yet it crackled with an undercurrent of tension, hinting at deeper, unspoken truths. Nathan's smile flickered like a candle in the dark, hinting at the storm brewing within. It sounds absolutely exhilarating from the very start. The enchanting nights pulse with an electric thrill, I declare with fervor. Logan's grin was sharp, a flicker of mischief in his eyes. Yet every ounce of his focus was locked onto me, as if the world around us had faded into oblivion. In a moment of urgency, "I'll brew you a cup of coffee to offer you a brief escape." My heart raced as I flicked the switch on the coffee maker and stormed into the kitchen. As I spun around, heart racing from the echo of footsteps that sent chills down my spine, I was met with the imposing figure of Logan, silhouetted in the doorway, his arms crossed defiantly. His gaze burned into me, lingering on the hem of my skirt, the smooth fabric of my top brushing against my shoulders like a whisper of tension. He held my eyes captive, even as he stood just outside the threshold of the kitchen, the air thick with unspoken words. His gaze bore down with an intensity that was almost suffocating. His voice, calm yet laced with an undeniable kindness, resonated deeply within me, leaving me in awe of his remarkable presence. His unwavering confidence and calm presence commanded attention effortlessly. His mere presence ignited a flicker of joy within me, a spark that threatened to consume my very being. I responded with a sense of urgency, insisting that gratitude was unnecessary, for in choosing such an enormous TV, I had taken on a far greater burden for you. With a low, menacing laugh, Logan leaned on the table, his powerful hands gripping the edge as if to assert his dominance over the room. A palpable tension hanging in the air, he replied, a smirk playing on his lips, "You seem happy with your choice." His piercing gaze roving over my body, lingering on my face with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine. "Yes," I declared, my fingers trembling as they combed through my hair, a storm of emotions swirling within me. In the solitude of my existence, even the smallest pleasures transform into vital lifelines, anchoring me amidst the overwhelming silence. I felt his gaze piercing through me, a silent appraisal that sent a shiver down my spine. It was a thrilling yet terrifying experience, a pulse-pounding mix of exhilaration and dread. Logan's voice dropped to a hushed whisper, laden with intensity, as if he were sharing a secret that could change everything. Loneliness, though not always a curse, can amplify the weight of existence, transforming every moment into a profound struggle when there's no one to share it with. The intensity in his expression hinted at a depth far beyond the simple act of sharing an idea. It was as if he was unveiling a hidden truth that could shatter the very fabric of our understanding. His imposing figure drew my attention without my realizing it. He possesses a hint of muscle. A wave of silence crashed over me, leaving me utterly speechless. I gripped the coffee mugs tightly, my heart racing as I fought to regain my composure. Logan rose abruptly from the table, his heart pounding as he stepped forward, the air thick with tension. The heat of his breath enveloped me, a palpable force as he drew closer, igniting a storm of emotions within me. If you ever wanted to truly test this system, invite Nathan and me over, he said, his gaze piercing into mine, a challenge hanging in the air between us. What he uttered may have appeared as a mere casual suggestion, but the intensity in his voice and the haunting depth in his eyes unveiled a story far more gripping and tumultuous. Nathan's voice erupted from the living room, piercing the tense silence like a thunderclap. "Logan, hand me the wire now." After a tense moment of uncertainty, Logan finally nodded, his voice steady yet charged with urgency as he declared, "I'll be right there." In that moment, the kitchen crackled with an electrifying tension that hung heavily in the air between us. As he departed, the weight of his formidable presence lingered in the air, casting a shadow that seemed to pulse with unspoken tension. We lingered in a charged silence, the air thick with unspoken words. As we sipped our coffees, each moment stretching into eternity. I am deeply grateful to Logan and Nathan for their unwavering dedication in successfully completing the system setup. Despite facing numerous challenges, with a mischievous glint in his eye, Nathan taunted, "Savor every moment, Auntie." With a charming smile that barely masked the tension in the air, Logan leaned in closer, his voice low and urgent. "Tell us, Sod, is there anything more you require?" As our eyes locked one final time before the inevitable separation, an intense and unyielding electricity crackled in the air between us, a force that felt both exhilarating and terrifying. The home was engulfed in an eerie stillness after their departure, a haunting silence that echoed the weight of their absence. Despite the gleaming new TV and sound system that loomed before me, my mind was consumed by thoughts of Logan, a haunting presence that refused to fade. His serene yet captivating manner, soft caresses, and commanding presence ensnared me, pulling me deeper into a whirlwind of emotions I could scarcely comprehend. Later, as I was cleaning up the coffee mugs, my eyes caught a glimpse of a folded piece of paper lying ominously on the table, accompanied by a delicate flower that seemed to whisper secrets of its own. As I grasped the note, my heart raced with anticipation, the sight of Logan's flawless handwriting sending a jolt through me. "If you ever find yourself in need, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll be there for you, no matter what it takes." The phone number loomed ominously beneath, a stark reminder of the choices that lay ahead. My heart raced wildly, overwhelmed by the weight of this seemingly simple yet profoundly impactful act. I was utterly taken aback by this person. As I sat there, the glow of the new TV flickering in the dim light, my heart raced at the sight of Logan's number flashing on my phone. Should I ignore it or dare to send him a text that could transform everything? My emotions surged like a tempest, threatening to engulf my reason in a chaotic whirlwind. I stood on the edge of despair, teetering dangerously close to the abyss. I hurriedly sent a message to Logan, my heart racing as I typed, "Thank you for the flower you left today." As my fingers danced across the screen, a surge of emotion washed over me. How incredibly thoughtful of you. If you find yourself available, would you dare to join me for a glass of wine or a cup of coffee as we explore the depths of system testing? The moment I hit send, a surge of adrenaline coursed through me, and my heart raced as if it were on the brink of exploding from my chest. The search for a response was swift, but the weight of its significance loomed heavy in the air. His response blazed across the screen as my phone erupted with a buzz, sending a jolt through my veins. "That idea is absolutely electrifying." Just as I was about to bring a bottle of red wine over, Logan appeared at my door, the tension thick in the air, the bottle clutched tightly in his hand. Once again, I found myself utterly astonished by his unwavering confidence. He was a figure of unwavering precision, his every action steeped in an intense focus. Yet beneath that steely exterior lay a heart brimming with compassion. With a sly smirk, he declared that a proper system test demands nothing less than a fine wine, the tension thickening in the air around them. The intensity in Logan's eyes as he raised his glass and murmured, "Only for special people," rendered me utterly speechless. This man was far more than just nice. With every gesture, he ignited a fire within me, filling the deep, aching void that threatened to consume my very soul. As we flicked the TV on, a surge of anticipation electrified the air. The music system roared to life, yet our attention was consumed by an undeniable connection, leaving the screen and the sound to fade into oblivion. The world around us blurred, and all that mattered was the intensity of the moment we shared. Our discussions deepened, the air thick with tension as Logan closed the gap between us. His presence almost overwhelming. The tension was palpable, our body language crackling with intensity, and the weight of our gaze felt electric. "Claire, hurry. I didn't come here tonight merely to sample the wine," Logan declared with a fierce intensity, his voice steady yet charged with urgency. "I want to uncover the depths of who you are." Every emotion I had buried erupted violently within me as those words pierced the air. I locked my gaze onto his, feeling a magnetic pull that sent shivers down my spine. In that instant, the air thickened with unspoken tension, and I realized that everything we had known was about to be irrevocably transformed. The weight of the mounting strain bore down on us, leaving us with a harrowing choice that could alter everything. A tumultuous wave surged within me as I felt the weight of Logan's piercing gaze. I rose from my seat, my heart racing, and with trembling hands, I set my wine glass down on the sofa table, the fragile crystal glinting ominously in the dim light. I felt his sharp intake of breath as my fingers reached for the straps of my dress. I rushed to his side, my heart pounding, and offered him a smile that masked the turmoil within. Yet, the weight of my words was undeniable, reverberating with an intensity that could not be ignored. I felt a vulnerable shift within me, as if every protective layer had been stripped away, leaving only raw emotions exposed. The depth of emotion and fervent admiration in Logan's eyes was unmistakable, a powerful force that seemed to electrify the air between us. In that moment, the world around them dissolved into an eerie silence, leaving only the weight of the tension hanging in the air. Logan has unmistakably and irrevocably crossed into my territory. He advanced with a chilling intensity, each step calculated and purposeful, closing the gap between us with an unsettling determination. He was so close that I could feel the heat of his breath searing against my skin. "Claire, the sheer intensity of your power only deepens the magnetic pull you have over everyone around you." He uttered it with a gravitas that resonated through the air, even as my heart thundered in my chest. I fought to keep my composure intact. I tilted my head, locking eyes with him, the tension crackling in the air between us. "Logan," I called out, my voice unwavering, yet filled with an undercurrent of urgency. "I chose to come here tonight, driven by an insatiable desire to uncover the depths of your being, far beyond merely savoring wine." The tension shattered like glass under the weight of those remarks. A magnetic force seemed to pull us closer, leaving me breathless in its wake. His eyes were a tempestuous sea, pulling me into their depths, threatening to engulf me completely. He leaned in with a deliberate slowness. As he leaned in, the moment overwhelmed me, stirring a whirlwind of emotions I could no longer contain. The kiss was so profound and raw that it left me breathless, submerging me in an ocean of emotion I had never experienced before. As Logan stood close, an overwhelming surge of emotions gripped me, pulling me dangerously close to abandoning the careful walls I had built. As my hands grasped his powerful shoulders, he hesitated, a charged silence hanging in the air, before abruptly turning to confront the music system. In a heartbeat, a hauntingly beautiful melody surged through the atmosphere, wrapping around them like an electric embrace. As I collapsed onto the sofa, the soft rhythm ignited a fierce yearning within me. The music surged, intertwining with my own frantic sounds, and in an instant, chaos erupted. A wave of intense emotion surged through me, overwhelming my senses and leaving me trembling in its wake. For a fleeting moment, I pried my eyes open and stared at the TV, yet an eerie silence enveloped the room, rendering everything inaudible. Logan's presence ignited a storm of emotions within me, an intensity that left me breathless, his words wrapping around me like a spell. declaring my allure and magnetism with an intensity that left me breathless. It was nothing short of extraordinary. A surge of exhilaration coursed through me, for never before in my life had anyone been so profoundly affected by my presence. I gazed at Logan, my heart racing, struggling to articulate the overwhelming beauty that radiated from him. His strong presence and unwavering gaze left an unforgettable impression on me. As the laughter echoed around us, a sudden chill gripped my heart. Just as I reveled in the connection we shared, a dark thought pierced through the moment. What if Logan was gone? Panic surged within me, and I shot up, frantically scanning the shadows for any sign of him. I collapsed beside him, the weight of exhaustion pulling me into a profound slumber, the stillness enveloping us like a shroud, as the world faded away into darkness. Yet, as the first rays of morning pierced the darkness, I opened my eyes to find the space beside me hauntingly vacant. My gaze fell upon the coffee table, chaos reigning with my clothes strewn across the floor. The remnants of the night lingered, with traces of our shared connection woven through the air. With a surge of urgency, I snatched it up and plunged into the words. My heart racing, I yearned to whisk you away to a place of profound significance, a destination that will leave an indelible mark on our souls. The previous night was truly remarkable, serving as a prelude to the tumultuous roller coaster of feelings and encounters that lie ahead. The thrill of the unknown utterly consumes me as I anticipate what lies ahead. As I read the note, a surge of curiosity and warmth coursed through me, igniting a fire within. I grasped the flower tightly, a grin breaking across my face. But beneath the surface, a storm of emotions brewed. Logan never fails to leave me in awe. In that moment, a chilling realization washed over me. This narrative was merely the beginning, and I was about to embark on a tumultuous journey, brimming with emotions I had never dared to confront before. It had been one of those days, a mere prelude to the chaos that was about to unfold. Prepare yourself for an overwhelming rush as I unveil the harrowing events that unfolded next, pulling you deep into a whirlwind of raw emotions. Stay tuned for the thrilling continuation of this tale.